You ever see that family event pop up on your calendar and, that feeling, that little sense of dread? It's something so many of us know, but we hardly ever talk about it. Well, today we're going to dive right into the science behind that feeling and why it is completely 100% okay to feel it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The notification pops up and bam, it's this immediate physical thing. Your stomach just absolutely sinks. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in the right place, because that feeling, that's the starting point for everything we are about to unpack. And let's just get this out of the way right off the bat. If you feel this dread, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person, you're not broken. There are real, scientific reasons why these gatherings can feel like an emotional obstacle course, and a lot of it comes down to how your brain is literally wired.
So for our first section, let's look at what is actually happening inside your head. We're going to blow past all those common excuses and get right into the nitty-gritty neurological reasons why family time can feel so unbelievably stressful.
I think this slide just reframes the whole issue perfectly. So often, our go-to excuse is introversion. We say, oh, I'm just an introvert, I need to recharge. And yeah, that can be part of it, but it's not the whole story. The real issue isn't just being around people, it's the feeling of being forced to be around them. And that brings us to a really key concept.
Obligatory socialization. This is any social event where you're showing up not because you want to be there, but because you feel like you have to be. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, picks up on this complete lack of control, this lack of choice, and it perceives it as a genuine threat. It's not logical, it's totally primal.
And here's how that chain reaction plays out. It's so simple, yet so powerful. First, the event appears on your calendar. Second, your brain immediately registers, hey, I have no real control here. And third, your nervous system just flips a switch. It goes into this low-grade fight-or-flight mode, the exact same protocol it would use if you were actually in danger. And that, right there, that's the source of that stomach-dropping anxiety.
Okay, so let's move on to our next section, because the fun doesn't stop there. It's not just about the stress of the event itself, it's about who you become the second you walk through the door. Yeah, we're talking about the family time machine effect. This whole phenomenon is explained by something called family systems theory. Now, the big idea here is that a family is this interconnected system, kind of like a machine. And within that machine, every single person has a role, a part they were assigned to play a long, long time ago. And when the family gets together, everyone gets pulled right back into those old roles, whether they still fit or not.
Do any of these sound a little familiar? Maybe you were always the peacemaker, or the troublemaker, the golden child, or maybe the black sheep who never quite fit in. It doesn't matter how much you've grown or changed as an adult. The moment you walk back into that old dynamic, the system tries to snap you right back into your box.
And this is the result, isn't it? I mean, you could have a PhD, you could be a CEO, you could be saving lives for a living, but all it takes is that one comment from a parent or a sibling, and emotionally, you are right back in your teenage bedroom, wanting to just slam the door. And listen, this isn't a weakness. It's neurology. Those relational pathways in your brain, they are ancient and they run deep.
Okay, so just to recap, you're already dealing with a threat response and you've been time-warped back to your teens. But wait, there's more. On top of all of that, there's the performance. This next section is all about the hidden, absolutely exhausting work it takes just to get through the day.
This performance has a name. It's called social masking. It is the constant, draining effort of managing everybody else's feelings while you push your own way, way down. It's laughing at a joke that isn't funny. It's skillfully changing the subject to avoid another political argument. It's pretending to be absolutely fascinated by your cousin's crypto portfolio. It is work.
I love this metaphor because it's so true. You're constantly trying to think 3 moves ahead, read the room, protect your own king, all while your uncle is playing checkers and your aunt keeps moving your pieces when you're not looking. It takes a huge amount of mental energy and calculation.
And this chart explains that feeling perfectly. You ever leave a family dinner feeling like you've been hit by a truck, even though you literally just sat on a couch for 4 hours? This is why. Your physical energy might be totally fine, but your mental energy is completely shot, because your brain has been running an invisible marathon of social calculation.
And if that wasn't enough, we also have to deal with the comparison monster. It's just a basic human drive to see how we're measuring up. And let's be honest, family gatherings are basically the Olympics of comparison, aren't they? And it's usually disguised as these innocent little questions about your job or your relationship status or your life choices.
Now here is the really crucial part. When a comment makes you feel like you're falling behind your cousins, it isn't just a little emotional sting. Neurologically, your brain activates the exact same regions that process physical pain. That feeling of inadequacy, it literally hurts.
Okay, so we've looked at the problem from all these different angles. Now let's pivot to the most important part of this whole thing. What can you actually do about it? This is your survival guide. This is how you start reclaiming your peace.
And the very first step, before anything else, is validation. Just give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Dreading a family get-together does not make you a monster. It makes you a human being with a very healthy sense of self-awareness. It's okay.
All right, now let's get strategic. Think of this as your personal self-preservation kit. Decide on a leaving time before you even get there. Plan an escape route, like saying you have to take the dog for a walk. Have a friend on standby for an emergency call. These are not acts of avoidance. They are powerful acts of self-care that give you back a sense of control. You can even redefine what family time means. Maybe it's a quiet coffee with one person instead of the whole chaotic dinner.
And this really brings us to the single most important takeaway from this entire explainer. Your mental health is your responsibility, and you do not owe it to anyone, not even the people you love and are related to. Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It is necessary.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. It's not about building these giant walls around yourself. It's just about building a door with a lock that you control. What is one small, manageable boundary you can put in place next time just to make things a little bit better for yourself? Because you absolutely have that power.